Hello friends, welcome to Data Making. In this video, we are going to develop first Spark streaming application using a PySpark API. So it is going to be a socket source. So as I mentioned in the previous video, so we in the Spark's streaming application, we might have n number of sources like data stream data coming from n number of sources like Socket, Kafka, and the Kinesis like streaming sources, and you might write a streaming application using either traditional Spark streaming or structured Spark streaming. So in this course, we are going to focus on structure streaming. So we are going to write a Spark structure streaming program and consume the data from the socket source. Like it's a kind of particular TCP port number. We are going to listen and what are the messages published to that TCP port number. We are going to consume it and we are going to do some simple aggregate and show it on the console sync. We are going to use the console sync. It's like showing a data frame on your console. So something like that. So it is going to be like this. So we will be using the Netcat utility on, I'm using a Ubuntu 18.04. I'm going to use the Netcat utility for opening the TCP port number and listen on the particular port number, and we can type some messages and you can consume using the Spark structure streaming program or application, which is good, which is we will be writing on the PySpark API using the PySpark API, and then we'll be doing some aggregate and we'll be showing on the console sync, something like that. Okay, so let's get started. So I'm going to log into my virtual machine. Okay, so this is a television. Let me start this Netcat utility to listen on the port number 1100. I will open the PyCharm. Okay, so I developed this application. Okay, so I have take two, three scenarios to explain you in detail how the Spark structure streaming works. Okay, so that you will actually be able to actually find out what is going each step in this Spark structure streaming programming. So generally, the Spark structure streaming programming, the programming structure will be like you'll be creating a same Spark session object, like how would you on the how will be doing in the batch API, then followed by uh, there will be a source. Okay, there will be a stream source where you will be consuming the data. So if you look at this, the syntax, which is almost similar like reading a data from any data source, like being a file system or any other data source. It should be like Spark session object, a read stream dot format of which source you are reading. We are going to read the socket. So whatever the based on the what source you read the data, you are going to actually provide this information. So this is like reading a data frame. So only difference is instead of spark.read, we are using a read stream. So this makes actually a streaming, consuming the data from the streaming source. Okay, so just going back to the starting of the line, we'll be importing the Spark session object from the PySpark.sql, and this is the entry point of this program, like a main section. Okay, then we are creating a Spark session object. I hope you are familiar with how to create a Spark session object using a builder method, and we can pass the application name and the master URL, and we can create a Spark session object. So Spark session object dot read stream dot format editing socket. For socket source, we need to provide two information. One is the host, okay, and another is a port number, okay, on which it is going to listen it. And whatever you get it right, so it is going to be, this is going to be a unbounded table, we call it as. So from the source, whatever data you are reading, this is going to be unbounded table, okay. And I'm just printing the is data frame is a streaming data frame or not, and we can actually print the schema of the data frame, the stream data frame. And for now, I'm not going to, in this example, I'm not going to do any like transformation or aggregation. We just going to just print on the console sync. Okay, so this is also similar like how do you write data, your data from a data frame into any target like SDFS or as a file system, you say data frame dot write dot format of CSV or JSON, and you give the path. Right? Similarly, what you need to do is the stream data frame. Okay, so dot write stream dot format. Basically, you need to provide this is console. We are going to write it on the console, right? So if we are going to be writing on the Kafka or any other sync, you need to provide that information. And every your the write stream should have the start method. Okay, you need to when you are writing stream, you need to call the start method. Okay, the query. So basically, this is a query object. When you write a write stream, whatever you get is the query object. That query object you need to actually put it on the wait for termination, so that this will be running as a 24 bar 7 never ending application. So all streaming application runs forever. So unless you kill it or get stopped or terminated if any exception occurs. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, I hope this is like, see, this is a you need to understand. So this is like creating a Spark session object, Spark session object, like similarly, or how do you do on the batch API, and then here source from the source you are reading the data, which is going to be a stream data frame, and in middle you will be doing some transformation. In this example, I just kept simple, and you are going to write the data, the result data into your sync. So this is going to be a console sync. Okay, let us run this program. Okay, I'm running this. So I'm going to print the message as like apple, orange, apple. Okay, I just entered. Okay, this application not yet started. So it has started the application. Okay, so it is going to consume that message and print it here. So basically, if you see the streaming data frame, when we use the socket as source, the streaming data frame schema is only value. It will have only value column, nothing else it will have. So on the we actually checked, right, is that particular stream data frame is streaming. Is streaming, we checked it is true. Okay, so we were able to consume the message and print the console window. Say example, we again sent one more message. Okay, mango, apple. Okay, so it is immediately written. So basically, if you observe that whenever I just typed the message there, it immediately came here. So basically, I did not set the any batch interval. Means I did not set any trigger. So if you don't set the trigger on your write stream, so it is going to be like as soon as the message receives, it is going to print it, or it's going to do the process and print it here. So I hope this example is clear for you. So it's going to be simple, right? So example, you cannot actually, if say you don't, you are not writing your you are not writing your stream data frames. Instead, you can actually, if you are trying to stream underscore df dot show, like how do you do on batch? So it is what is happening. We'll check it. So example, I just want to see the data which is there in the stream data frame using a show method. We'll see what happens. Basically, my VM is little slow, so bear with me. Even though I allocated 8 GB for this VM, it's taking. So basically, what it's saying is it's giving an analysis exception. Queries with streaming sources must be executed with write stream dot start. So all your queries should be executed with the write stream dot start. That's what it says. So you cannot actually just say stream data frame dot show. So this is not valid actually. You cannot be doing like this. I'll roll back the changes. Okay, so this example is done. So what is they going to, so just consuming the message and printing in console is not good. we'll do some kind of aggregation. So basically, like when I typing this message, what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the simple word count application. Okay, I'm going to do some simple word count. So what we are doing it here, same program. I just did little modification. So now first we imported the Spark Station object. I imported functions from the uh, Spark SQL functions package. Okay, so I imported all the functions. Basically, if you want, you can actually restrict to whatever function you are using it. And this is entry point of the program. So first thing is, as we know, we need to create a Spark session object. We just created the Spark session object, and then followed by so we are creating a stream data frame by consuming the or uh, listening to the socket source. Okay, so basically at local host at the port number 1100, we are loading the data, the stream, a live stream or stream of data. We are actually reading it. Okay, and we creating the stream data frame. Now this is all the same code. You can just come, and what I'm going to do is basically I'm going to do the word count program here. So word count program is simple one, but it is actually very helpful to understand all the concepts. Okay, so I will tell you how it is happening. So example, okay. So what we are going to do is first what I will do is I will say stream data frame dot select of. I'm going to split this value. We know that this data frame having only one column value. We are going to split the each word by space separator, and that when you do split by space separator, you are going to get one like example one line into multiple words, right? So you will get array. So if you want to make array into multiple rows, you need to use the explode function. So that's what I'm doing, explode of split of the value. If when you get, you'll get actually multiple rows. The multiple elements in the array will become multiple rows in your data frame. And then I'm giving that column as giving alias of that column into word. Okay, value column into word. That's what it's happening in this line. So it is going to create a data frame with a word as a column, and all the words will become each value in the row. So next, what we are going to do is we are going to aggregate each word and find the count. So this count is not a action like how do you do it on RDD. It is will be a, aggregate transformation in Spark structure streaming. Okay. Um, so what we are going to do is we just did words dot group by the word column and then count. So it is going to return a data frame which will do the grouping of each word, and it will find out the count. Okay, now okay. So before I'll just take this off now. I'll just put same as the previous the code which we saw. So what we did is the final this data frame dot the right stream of format console. We are adding into console, and then we are going to wait for the query to be terminated. So we'll check what is happening. So it is starting my Spark structure streaming application. Did I start it? The circuit? Yes, I started it. If you're actually starting their application before opening the circuit port number using a netcat utility, it is a connection reference. First, you need to start your circuit TCP port using a netcat utility. Then you have to start your streaming application. Now, what it says, append output mode is not supported when there is then there are streaming aggregates on the streaming data frame or data sets without watermark. So we did not actually provide any output mode. By default, all your write stream is having output mode as append. Okay. So in the append mode, we cannot apply the aggregate operation. When you use the append output mode as append, you cannot do aggregate. That's what I meant in the previous part of the video. Uh, so how do you resolve it is using watermark. So watermark is another concept we will actually focus on in the coming up videos. Now to resolve this issue, we are going to actually introduce the output mode. So let me put the output mode. I told you there are three output modes available in the Spark TextStreamy. One is a complete, another is update, and the last one is a append. So append is a default output mode for your write stream. I'll say complete. Complete will actually give you the it can apply the your aggregation on your entire data in your entire data on your unbounded table, and it will give the result table. Okay, so let me run this program again. Let this program starts. So I'm going to give this program. I'm going to put this all this code in my GitHub account. I'm going to share you the link in the description section of this video. Please watch this video uh, all till end so that you will understand very clearly. Okay, and also whatever queries or doubt you have, please post it on the comment section of this video. I am happy to help you. Now we started the application. Okay, so okay, so this application is started. Now we'll go and publish some message. Okay, or wait for the first batch to complete. Okay, somehow it is not coming. Okay, let us publish some message and check. I'm just publishing the same message. I will tell you why I'm publishing the same message. I just published the message. So first batch did not receive any message. Second batch should receive whatever message we sent. Somehow this is slow. I'm reading this VM for a long time. So you see here, so what text we passed? Apple, orange, apple. So three words we passed. So apple twice, orange one time. So you see here, apple once and sorry, apple twice and orange once. So let me pass the another message, which is mango and apple. Now see what is happening. So in the batch number 2, we should get, we are using a complete output mode. Now it has to do the aggregate on the entire like all the entire unbounded table. Okay, so you see the apple has so apple count become 3 and the mango is 1 and orange is 1. So in complete in the output mode complete, so it will apply the aggregation in your entire unbounded table, which is actually your input stream. Okay, so let's see what is happening if we change it to update mode. Okay, I will stop this. Okay, I will clear this. So I'll make this append into update. So what I told you in the last class, update mode is whatever data which is getting updated in the current batch interval, okay, that will get reflected. Okay, so I will kill this. Again, we'll stop it. Sorry, start it. Okay, now let's start our application. We change the output mode to uh, update. So in the output port, whatever the data which is updated uh, in the input, sorry, updated in the see whatever data it is getting updated in the result table that will be executed. Okay. Okay. So what I'm doing is I'm going to pass the same input apple, orange, and apple. Okay. So let's wait for the first batch to complete. Okay, so in the first batch, you'll be seeing the count as apple 2, orange 2. Okay, so same apple 2, orange 1. And now when I going to publish mango, mango and apple. Okay, so what is going to happen is the apple is updated, it's updated data, and mango is the new data. Okay, so it is going to add it is going to let's see the output and I'll explain you. See, now let's wait for the output. We have to wait for the result of our batch 2, like batch number 2. So if you look at here, apple has become 3 because this was the it was actually updated value, means the updated data based on your actually what level of grouping you are doing it. Okay, based on that it will update. So updated value, whatever data is updated in your result table, that has come, and also mango has come. Why mango has come? Mango is a new data that has come, but it did not come the orange because there is no orange data in this current batch, so it is going to ignore that. So update is something like upsert. So it will be update plus new data. Insert, update plus insert is called upsert, right? Um, so that's right. So whatever data is updated, okay, so that data has come and new data has come, but it ignored uh, the previous result for the previous result of the previous batch micro batch. So on the because that there is no update or new data which is comparing to that last batch result. Okay, that's why it left. Okay, so this to demonstrate you this. So in the fully in the complete mode we saw mango as a count 1 and orange as count 1 and apple as 3, but in update mode we did not get orange because that was not there in part of our batch updated batch. Okay, say example now last was actually, so last is apple 1 and uh, apple is 3 and mango is 1, right? Now let us pass apple and orange, then mango will not be considered. So let's pass orange, apple, and one more time apple. Okay, now wait for the batch number 3. See here, mango did not come because what we passed is orange and apple. So it ignored that. So it ignored that mango because it's not part of this current batch. Okay, but it is considered apple because that was updated data. Orange was not updated, and it is not a new data also. So it means not updated basically. Okay, so this is how the append mode and the complete mode works. Okay, now we saw output modes and we saw how to write the stream data in the console mode and sorry in the console sync. Now one more example I have. So still now we actually using like whatever data it comes, the data is getting processed. So we did not set any trigger interval. So in this example, we'll set that trigger interval. Trigger interval. So this program is same as your word count streaming program. So we imported a Spark session and Spark SQL PySpark.sql functions, and we created a Spark session object, and we loaded the socket source data from socket source, and we did the word count. Everything is same. So we are in the updated mode. Okay, so let's put complete. Let's do complete mode and console. So if you want to set the trigger interval, you need to set it on your write stream. Okay, so in the write stream, so what you need to set is dot trigger of processing time equal to, you can specify 1 minute, or in minutes if you want to specify, you need to put the number and minute, and second you can put hour also. But generally hour we don't do. We generally do it on seconds only, but minute some very rarely will use minute. Okay, so let's run this program. It is same as the previous program, only this line of code is different. Okay, I'm going to run this. Let me stop this. Okay, I started the socket at the port number 1100. Let this application starts. Okay, so now I'm going to push some message here. Same, will follow the same steps. Apple and orange apple. This is our first data. Probably next time I will restart this VM because it's gone very slow. It's taking a lot of time. Okay, so see, it says current batch is failed behind. So there's a we said 2 second interval, but it's taken lot of time. Okay, now it has come the batch. Now we'll go on to put that other message like mango apple. Yes, it is going slow, but you will not see the much difference. So because of this complete mode, you get all the data which is getting aggregated. So I will put again orange and apple. So in the next batch interval, we should see the apple will become 5, and I think orange, right? Orange become 2. Yeah. So this is how we need to actually set the processing uh, time, which is like nothing but a trigger interval. Okay. I hope this video is helpful for you to understand how the Spark structure streaming program book works, application works, and how to consume the data from your socket source and write it into the console sync. Okay, so please subscribe to my channel. Okay, click on the subscribe button in your in this video, and click on this bell button, and click all, so that you will get a notification whenever I add new videos. Thank you so much, friend. I appreciate your support and encouragement. I'll be keep doing a lot of technical works with your support and encouragement. Thank you so much, friends.